in order for you to exist, humans are killing machines. I mean, literally, it's the only way you can exist is to kill. You have to whether it's a plant or an animal, you have to eat. You're a killing machine that has to to sustain itself, and you just tell yourself that, well, it's okay that I do that because God made me ruler of this land. Think about all the stories you got to come up with to validate why you matter most to keep your survival needs met. And again, the whole idea I think here is just to become aware, to open your awareness to what's going on. What is the devil? Have you ever asked that question, folks? What is the devil? Well, we're going to get into it in this one. We have a Leo Gura reaction video. This one's really interesting because this is one of the better explanations for the devil that I've ever heard. I don't know if I totally believe everything that's being said, but I think there's something interesting to kind of unpack here. Mm-hmm. So, look, every Leo video is 4 hours long, man. So you can only pull out a tiny little snippet of what this guy's got to say. So I will leave a descriptor in the box so you can watch the whole video. And man, I highly recommend it because we're not going to be able to tackle all the juicy tidbits out of this one that you could. So do yourself a favor. Watch the whole video. It's really good.
Yeah. And you know what? Maybe in the future we could do a series or something on one of his videos.
Cut them up and we'll do on all little parts. But this is I took the golden nuggets out of this one and we'll unpack it.
I need to issue a warning right off the bat, which is that this episode may offend and disturb you. I've gotten death threats in the past for speaking about some of the material that needs to be covered here today on this topic, and that's for good reason.
What the heck? He's gotten death threats for the things he's talked about?
I've
watched almost every one of his videos.
Yeah, I guess for what he...
But I shouldn't be surprised because people probably get death, the writers at the Care Bears probably get death threats at least once.
Because here we are stabbing the ego right in the heart. This is not what most people want. Most people's lives are in fact designed around never understanding what is meant to be understood here. So be careful. But also get excited, because if something is that deeply offensive and disturbing, it also probably means that there's a lot of growth to be had there if you become conscious of it.
I think that is so key. That's
horrifying.
If someone I loved how he set that all up. He's a little bit of an entertainer the way he kind of sets stuff up when he's talking about it. But if you somehow stumbled upon a video like this, realize what he just said there, right? If you're too scared to look at something, that's one of the keys I think within spirituality is to almost build up within you a tolerance, a bravery to look at things that scare you, to truths, because not every truth, not everything serves you or serves your ego. And so it could be a shock to maybe hear what he's about to say. And I think he's just trying to issue that warning to be hey,
I've alluded to it myself in the past too, that I think that a large part of the big lesson of life is building up our tolerance of truth. Yeah. Because when the big surprise is revealed, there's scriptures and things that have talked about people coming face to face with God and being completely undone.
Yeah.
Maybe part of the reason for that is because it's you can't handle it, G. You can't handle the truth of the situation here.
Yeah. And he's already said that he's stabbing the ego in the heart, so he's kind of letting you know what's the runner up here.
Yeah.
All right, let's continue.
So let's get started. Let's just get right into the heart of the issue, which is, what is the devil? Do you want to know? Do you really want to know? Are you sure you want to know? It's you. You are the devil. It's as simple as that. If you take away one thing from this episode, let it be this. The devil is not some guy with horns and a pitchfork and a pointy tail and red skin. That is a metaphor. That is a metaphor from Christian mythology, let's say. But I don't even know if they talk about the appearance of the devil in the Bible. I don't think so. That's just something that our culture has sort of come up with. But that's a caricature. That's a cartoon version of what the devil is. That's a metaphor for what? For you. For the self. For the ego.
So there you go. That's like pretty harsh. Like
sometimes I forget that we've seen a lot of this guy's stuff and been exposed to these ideas.
Yeah.
I got to remember that for some people that is kind of like, wait a minute, it's me. Like I'm. Yeah. And if you think about it, it's like even if you hate something we can all agree on is bad. Like everybody agrees Hitler's bad, right?
Yeah,
like, the hatred of Hitler is you're carrying that. It exists in you, and they'll be like, they can't understand. They're like, no.
Yeah.
I have the appropriate response to an outside evil.
Yeah.
But
when you think about how many people could not even get themselves to entertain the idea that they might be the creator of the evil. Think of it like that, like you're not even willing to let yourself even pretend. Can I just even pretend in my mind that I might be the creator of evil? You know, that's what he's trying to like get to. That is the shocking thing. Some people might watch this and be like, "Oh, he's crazy." No, not even look at it.
Okay, but where does this deviate from the idea that like you could take a religiously zealot person who feels contrite, they've got a profound sense of awareness of their own.
You don't even have to be religious.
Right. You're walking around with some guilt and you are blaming yourself. You're like, man, I'm such I screw things up and I sin all the time or something, right? How does that differ from this thing where it's like, oh, well, you know, the perpetrator, the one that's whispering in your ear and tempting you and all those things is you, right?
Yeah.
Like, how do you clearly define the difference there? Like, because maybe people use the devil or Satan as a scapegoat. Like, it's not me having these dirty thoughts. It's the devil trying to make me have these dirty thoughts.
Yeah.
You know? How does it all work?
Yeah.
What do you think?
That's the mechanics of this situation is like learning, I think, how to not get tied up so much with all the thoughts, understanding that your thoughts aren't you necessarily, that you are the observer of these thoughts and these ideas that are funneling through that have been, you know, that you've interpreted by looking at external reality, everything coming in and you building up some idea about it. But people, one of the liberating things, I think, when you finally understand that your thoughts cannot be controlled necessarily right off the bat, that's liberating because you know that it's not you who's doing it. You're more of the observer there, watching all of this funneling through.
Yeah, and that's what it does happen with a lot of meditation, especially like, you know, the type of meditation where you're observing your thoughts.
Yeah. You
realize that it's almost like a teleprompter in your mind, like they're happening to you, these thoughts, and you can like watch them, right? And that initially, I think when somebody's first getting into meditation, it's so hard to separate the ego from, like, separate your sense of self from the thoughts. Yeah. Like, it's me. But those thoughts are chaotic. It's the ego is what likened to like a monkey on crack or something like that. Yeah. Like if you sit, you get real quiet and you go and you observe your thoughts. Yeah. That itself can be a challenge. Yep. It's like your first week of getting back into the meditation practice, it's like I can only do 5 minutes a day. And then you build up a tolerance over time and then you can see them like clouds drifting into your consciousness.
Yeah. All right, let's keep it going.
Evil is basically just selfishness, which is the same thing as ignorance, which is the same thing as unconsciousness. Now, of course, the devil works in sneaky and deceptive ways. The devil uses illusion and sleight of hand. So to this end, of course, the devil must deny that he is the devil. Because if the devil ever realized that he was the devil, he would have to stop being the devil. So fundamentally, the mechanic of being a devil is that you behave like a devil while saying that you are good. That's what the devil does. Actually, that part of the Christian devil mythology is quite right. In Christian mythology, they always talk about the devil as being the sort of trickster character who promises you one thing and then gives you something else. Well, that's exactly right. The devil works through deception. And not just deceiving you in the sense that there's some external agent, like a guy with a pitchfork, who deceives you. That's not what we are talking about here. I'm saying that you are the devil. You deceive yourself.
So that's that's one of the main points there. We were talking about not being able to even entertain this thought, and what a trick. Like if you were responsible for evil, the whole idea is that you don't acknowledge it, that you're in your world's eye. Like most people go around thinking that, they're doing what is right, that they're doing what is good. They can't see the subtleness of their evil.
It's a tough truth. And the interesting thing about it is that what he's talking about gets alluded to a lot, even in coming from Hollywood. It's like you'll see the coked out main character who's like not looking at the reality of the situation till he hits rock bottom, and then he realizes it was him that was supposed to change the whole time.
Yeah.
So it's archetypally like in our culture, but at the same time, if you go to a therapist, are they going to sit you down and be like, "You're the devil"?
Yeah.
That's the crux of the problem here, mister. Like, the person's going to run out screaming. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm getting at here?
I know.
Like,
I
it's
know.
kind of a tough thing to lay on somebody, especially if somebody's lived like a pretty victimized life. They're going to be like, "Listen, man, if you start telling me I'm the devil after all the shit that's happened to me,
Yeah.
fair enough."
Yeah. I actually, you know what? There's only like 5 seconds here. I'll let it play out, and then we'll.
And by that very deception, you come into existence as a self.
Yeah. So, like, there's a lot there, right? I think the whole idea is to not always. The evil's always out there. It's always somewhere else out there and not within you. And we all do this. And if you watch this whole video, he even alludes to the fact that, like, he's not doing this video to tell you to, like, here's how you change, here's how you not become a devil. He's like, be aware of how the mechanics of what you're calling evil is all how it works. Because we are doing so much evil, but we still are going to do it. Like, it's like your cell phone. Like, are you going to get rid of your cell phone? Does it not bother you that the batteries are made from slaves, little baby children who have to work in caves?
That's like a really good point, right? And I can imagine somebody who's not like, like Jesus called one of his disciples. He said, "Get behind me, Satan." Like,
yeah.
Before you be like, "Well, that's not the same thing." Yeah. Like, some people knee-jerk reaction would be like, "No, because." Because it's like, hold your because for a second. Did you hear what I just said? Yeah. The batteries in your mother effing phone are made by slave children.
Yeah.
And whether you think animals don't have a soul or not, have you ever looked at where some of these byproducts, like these animal products, come from?
Like, everything in your reality.
You have to actively not look at the things you're contributing to. You have to actively not look at it. Yeah. And so, again, that would be a tall order to be like, "So you're the devil, so change everything about yourself." You know what I mean? Like, nobody's doing that. Yeah. Nobody. Yeah. It's not definitely not what we're asking of the viewer or ourselves. Even
there's no like, "Oh, and now that you know, here's how you totally fix it." Got it wrong. That's not the idea. The idea is just to see what's going on in reality. And there's actually something deeper here, where it's like all this stuff that we label as like evil is just a facet of a reality that we've labeled as evil.
But we got to be careful, because I can imagine somebody being like, "Holy shit, he's right about this," like whips their cell phone through a window, like, I'm good, right?
No.
Stop it. Stop it. Yes. Become aware of it. And yes, maybe over a long enough time period, you would become the type of person that's like, it took me 20 years, but I found a cell phone company that actually makes their cell phones humanely. Yeah. Maybe that is what happens. Is that so bad? But you'll never get to that point. You'll never get to the fixed part if you can't see that.
If anything, it should humble you and make you understand and less judgmental of others about
us, this information.
Yeah. Like, it should make you less judgmental when you look out into the world and everything that's going around, and now you point fingers and be like, look what he's doing, I don't like that. No, I don't like that. And it's like, it's very easy to label something else, someone else is doing evil, and then while everything that I was within my power to, look at all the things that you turn a blind eye to. And that to me is the most unsettling thing, is because there's a part of your, like, you're never going to get it all. You're not going to clean the whole, the only way is when you leave this universe. Because in order for you to exist, you're, like, humans are killing machines. I mean, literally, like, the only way you can exist is to kill. You have to, like, whether it's a plant or an animal, you have to eat. You're a killing machine that has to, to sustain itself. And you just tell yourself that, well, it's okay that I do that because God made me ruler of this land. Like, think about all the stories you got to come up with to validate why, you matter most to keep your survival needs met. And again, the whole idea, I think, here is just to, like, become aware. So open your awareness to what's going on.
Yeah, it's really like a starting position. Like, oh shit, like, FYI, when you go wanting, like, because it's a real easy pitfall to, like, just point the finger everywhere. Before you do that, before you make a mistake, it's actually you the whole time. Like, oh fuck. Because this guy's the same type of guy that would say, guess what, you want to know what God is? It's you. It's the same answer, right?
He's a non-dualist.
Right.
But anyway, guys, let us know what you think. Write down in the comments. Hopefully we didn't disturb anyone. If you did like this episode, don't forget to hit the like, subscribe, share with a friend, and everybody, until next time, stay spiritual.